Tonight, we are hearing from a man whose addiction took him to the lowest of lows. By age 35, Pej Alagamandan was homeless, living out of his car, showering at public pools. Even then, he says he didn't realize how bad it had gotten. Today, Pej is a professional interventionist, going directly into homeless encampments, talking to people in active addiction, and trying to reach them where they are. Pej is now more than 18 years sober. During the holidays, when relapse and overdose risks spike, his work feels especially urgent. Interventionist and recovery coach Pej is here now with me in the studio. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the work that you do. For people that may not be that familiar with your story, can you give us sort of the brief version of it?
Yes, I mean, I was in active addiction. I carried a lot of trauma, as do most addicts and alcoholics. 18 years I was in active addiction, and now I'm 18 plus years sober. It was really rough. I grew up in a very abusive home, also abused here by various people as a person that was from a different country. I'm Iranian, I'm Persian, but born in Germany and raised in the States since the time I was 5, and it was kind of rough for a while, but I made it through and I came out alive.
And in some ways, you felt like you didn't have it as bad as some of the people you met on Skid Row, though, right?
I mean, I was homeless too. I guess I had a car, so that was my little house.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I never want to forget where I came from.
And you go back there.
I go back there a lot. I'm in Skid Row.
What's it like when you're there now, having lived that experience being on the other side?
I mean, it's like a third world country. People are zombified. Nobody's well. It's either mental health and addiction, or one or the other, or both together, coupled.
How do you think we get out of that?
Oh man, I mean, I wish we could get out of it. I do see that there are a lot of organizations that are building down there and trying to help. But my job is to try to find certain individuals, because there are family members who have a loved one that ends up down there, and in many different parts of metropolitan cities throughout the country, but not just in those types of places, even within their homes.
Sometimes it's hard for them to find their own family members, or they know that they're out there and there's like nothing that they can do.
Lost
Tough
souls.
Meanwhile, sort of the more traditional family arrangement is it's the holiday time, people come back, you're sitting around the table, people start drinking, people are nervous about the awkwardness and sometimes a family. It can be triggering to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
What's your advice for people about to have triggers when it comes to addiction?
Well, I mean, if you are a person that's newly sober, you always have the right to not put yourself in that environment for too long. If it's triggering, if you see people are drinking and they can't respect your recovery, then you can leave early. And then if you are a family member that is bringing somebody that's newly sober into your home, it would be nice to respect their recovery and know that they could get triggered. And just because you guys can all drink doesn't mean that they should be exposed to it for too long.
Meaning maybe don't serve alcohol or something.
Maybe
like
just
that.
keep it out of the sight of them, or don't even have it there at all.
I mean, what do you typically see around the holiday time, and what most gets people triggered?
We call it squirrely, getting squirrely. A lot of people start to feel a way of sorts because it's the holidays. Everybody seems to be festive and having a lot of fun, and they're partaking and drinking and things like that. And so a lot of people, if they're not spiritually fit, they might end up relapsing. So we see a lot of relapse around the holidays, a lot of people that end up just throwing it all away, especially New Year's too.
Yeah, New Year's is like every trigger you could possibly have.
I mean, come on,
everybody's drinking, everybody's partying. Plus, it's really reflective and usually makes you feel bad about yourself. At least that was my New Year's experience.
Sure.
And it can be a lot. So you're a professional interventionist. People call you all the time.
Yes.
To have help with an intervention. What's your advice in that space? Because so many of those don't work, right?
Well, a lot of them actually do work. I'm part of a team called Intervention on Call, and we do a lot of family recovery coaching. We try to teach people the do's and the don'ts of trying to help people. There are people that contact us constantly. We put on a lot of free Zoom type classes, and then on top of that, the people that are calling me will just try to, how do you deal with this situation? If they're at their wits' end, then they hire me to actually come out. But sometimes we just teach them how to do interventions right through our classes.
Yeah. Talk to us about your podcast.
My podcast is called Primary Purpose with Pej, P-E-J, which is my name. And we get people from all walks of life, many addicts and alcoholics that are in recovery, but also a lot of professional people, a lot of addictionologists, therapists, people like that. And then people that, deep thinkers, a lot of visionaries, people that are doing different things in their lives. It's a great podcast. It is in all different podcast platforms.
What's the most important thing you think you've learned from going through that experience and talking to all those people?
I'm constantly learning. I remain a student. I'm always learning from the guests that I have. I'm inspired. They inspire me because I see the miracles that can happen in people's lives. I've seen people that were in the throes of their addiction that were dying from alcoholism or fentanyl addiction or in psychosis. I just had a guest on recently that was in full-blown psychosis that completely transformed his life. He's got, a bunch of years sober now and he's doing big things.
So it seems like one of those lessons is there's reason to be hopeful.
Always keep the hope.
Yeah, well, Pej, congratulations on your success and all the inspiration that you provide to so many people.
Thank you
Really
so much for
appreciate
having
it.
me on.
Thanks so much, and happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you.
All right, coming up,